And we're back.
We are.
Double Talk. I'm Mark Steffen.
I'm Michael Mandel. Just in case you're watching part 2 of our YouTube shot, because we are now on YouTube on a regular basis because, man, we own the airwaves.
Well,
we own the wires.
We lease them at popular prices.
We only own the airwaves if you're listening to this on Wi-Fi.
Why?
You own them.
Yeah.
Nobody owns it. Well, yeah, people own it. They bought it. Anyway, we want to talk about something local and national at the same time.
But instead of that, we're going to talk about our Sunland Park mayor.
That's local.
That's local. It's national now, too.
Because?
Our local mayor of Sunland Park, what's his name?
Martin Resendiz.
Well, he's famous now because he signed a big contract worth a multi-million-dollar contract.
Well, $1 million. Yes.
While drunk. And he admitted it.
Well,
he told the truth.
Yes.
That he signed it while drunk. And now the Sunland Park is trying to have it rescinded. Because is it legal if you sign something while drunk?
Well, actually, I think Sunland Park wanted it rescinded because they didn't want whatever it was they were selling. He says it's not really his fault because he was drunk.
So send him in drunk, he'll sign it, and we won't have to go
you
by.
don't have to account for it. So he did that. George Lopez picked up the story and did this wonderful bit, which we haven't been able to get permission to show, but you can look it up on, just Google it, George Lopez, Martin Resendiz.
Drunk mayor.
And find out all about that. They did some great bits about why wouldn't you vote for the guy? At least we know he's honest. He's admit he drinks.
He admitted he signed while drunk?
You know,
would you vote for a guy that was that honest?
That's a good question.
Not used to an honest politician.
If they're honest and you say, I'm an idiot, I don't know if you'd want to do it. But he didn't say that. He just said he was drunk. He's willing to admit it. I also believe he said he was going to run for a bigger office. It said that on the news the other day. George Lopez figured he could have the guy run for governor because he could make all these arguments that he's much more honest than anybody else. Everybody else, their honesty comes out and then that's the end of their career. His honesty is right there at the beginning of his career, so we know he's honest and he's going to stay honest. You know what's interesting too? Sunland Park is just hiring a guy who, their city manager, they relieved him of work in 2009. They just rehired him back. So, you know, Sunland Park, I think, is a testing ground for political campaign.
Hey, anything's possible down there.
I know. I mean, look, didn't you say that Susana Martinez is going to, is that where the new train station is going to open?
Well, Santa Teresa, which is
Sunland Park.
Borders Sunland Park.
Yes. And she spent a lot of tax money going in there, took away the tax break from movies.
And gave it to the Union Pacific Railroad.
Union Pacific, because they're supposed to make money. So we'll see about
that. And so, so now our producer here tells me that George Lopez may be coming to Channel 98. Now, his show's has been canceled.
Right.
This is the final week of his show.
You just saw the last week of
Conan O'Brien took over his time slot. George Lopez is now out.
Well,
but apparently there's been an offer here at Channel 98.
I'm shocked by that offer, and I think we have to renegotiate.
You heard the offer, right?
Yes.
It's double our salaries combined to George Lopez.
Combined salaries. He's going to make 4 times as much as I am. 4 times. Is that 4? Wait, I was never good at math.
So yeah, we don't know if it's going to happen or not.
He says, look at that look he has. He says, you know what he's saying?
I'll take it.
He's talking to Chris. He's saying, I'll do it. Who's going to do it? I'll do it. I need a job. I need a job with good pay. So something to look forward to here on Channel 98.
Way to go, dog.
Yes.
Now, speaking of dogs.
Who said that?
You know, the lost dog, Christmas the dog. He was lost.
This is Chris's dog.
Right. He was on the internet. He was on Facebook. That's Christmas the dog. He got loose. He ran all the way from, we think somebody stole him, snatched him off the front yard, and he wound up down way out in Fair Acres. He was tangled up in some wire, in a wire fence somehow.
Really?
And the local neighbors found him.
The only thing that dog could get lost in would be like a
bowl of kibble.
Foam or something. Look how foamy he is.
Well, he's a big fat dog.
Foamy dog. So he was found because
he was chipped.
Returned, he had a chip, just like this one.
No, it's like this.
Oh, because the people who
the dog had been chipped.
He had a chip in him,
and he was in his ear.
He had this chip in one side and the other one in the other side, and so put a chip like this in. Oh, we're thanking the Mesilla Valley Animal Shelter because that's an animal
ones that called us.
Right, because the chip actually had an old phone number that wasn't any good.
Could you believe that?
But since the owners of the dog had been up previously searching for it, they had a record, so they knew who to call at the current number. So thanks to Mesilla Valley Animal Shelter for that.
And Mark loves dogs, so we try to, every chance we can get, put a picture of a dog up there.
It makes me happy.
And in fact, our next story
is about a dog.
About a dog called
Beano.
Beano, with an I, not Beano like in farts. Or anti-fart medicine, Beano, B-I-N-O. He's a hero dog, which I thought meant what you said before, a sandwich with
a hot dog involved.
I think
this dog was a professional dog. He served 14 months in Iraq.
14 months in Iraq. You know, he should protest.
After that, he worked with the Border Patrol, and now he's semi-retired, but he works with soldiers who've come back with post-traumatic stress syndrome.
Or PTSD.
PTSD.
Or both.
And they have that. And he's 13 years old, but he's still a viable working dog.
But he is up for winning an award.
Yeah, he's up. He's one of 8 finalists now for the American Hero Dog of the Year.
And if you want to vote for him, go to this website, Herod Oga Award. It says Herod Oga
www.herodogawards.org.
Yes. Oh, is that what it says?
Vote for him.
You know why? Because if he wins, you know what this will mean to him?
Absolutely
nothing.
Everything.
No, nothing.
He knows.
A dog does not know if it's won something. It knows if it gets a bone. You know, hopefully the award is a bone or something.
Well, he'll receive lots of love and accolades, and dogs know when people think that there's something special. They do know that. When you treat them special, they love it. They know it.
I don't know, man. You didn't even know when I was giving you a free Reiki thing. You didn't go, oh, great. Oh, I mean, you didn't appreciate that.
I wasn't.
You didn't see.
I don't have it yet, do I?
Well,
where is it?
He's going to have an award.
He should get it. He should
award.
Get some Reiki.
That's as vacuous and empty as going
somebody
to Reiki without, you know.
Somebody should give
him a Reiki thing.
Hero Dog a Reiki treatment.
We're going to see if you do a Reiki and come back here and have that work out. Let's talk about.
Well, speaking of him, you know, today, Saturday, dogs and cats are being held up for adoption.
They're held up? That's how they're held up?
Well, the cat's held up by the dog.
Do you realize Somerset Maugham was writing a book based on this picture called Of Animal Bondage, but they made him change it because it was against the animals, so it had to be called Of Human Bondage.
Since he'd already had that.
Right.
Dogs and cats are being from the animal shelter again. Today on the downtown mall from 8 to 12. Or also at Petco.
Petco. As opposed to Pets. Sometimes it's at PetSmart, now it's at Petco.
Okay, they switch off?
They switch off just to make it fair for the pets to be in different environments. And that's today until 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Pick up your pet. They can win an award for being a hero, or they can get lost and found. Don't forget, if you get an award, a dog, put a chip in it.
Put a chip on it.
Yes. We're advocating chips.
And get a dog and a cat. Now, also tonight, the Mesilla Valley Hospice is having a fundraiser. Men Who Cook are going to be involved down at the new convention center.
Yes.
That's tonight from 6 to 10.
There's going to be University.
70 cooks.
70 cooks. So you're paying actually less than $1 a piece for a cook.
Pretty much.
The cost is
60 bucks to get in.
But it's all food.
Yeah, 70 cooks are going to be down there cooking. There's celebrity chefs. I don't know who they are.
Well, yes.
But we know who one of them is.
One of them, yes.
Is Tony Sanchez Roux.
You know, roux is that type of thing that you stir with.
To make gravy.
Yeah.
And he's right here on Channel 98 also.
He does a show on the Hispanic Chamber Show. That's a picture of him. So that's how you spell roux?
So stop by
and
say hello to him if you go to the Men Who Cook tonight.
It's for a good cause. The hospice helps us say goodbye to our loved ones.
Yes.
Helps us say that.
Right, in a nice, peaceful way.
And speaking of loved ones, do you love your body?
I do.
Well, I knew that.
Some parts more than others.
Really? Yeah. Who could love that nose?
Yes, well.
It just doesn't work.
It smells, I'll tell you.
It
really smells.
Yes.
But some people apparently don't love their bodies.
Yes. Well, some people think they love their bodies, but to show their love, they mutilate them. And this was in the paper. We're going to show a shot.
We do have some pictures. Caution on these pictures because they are kind of extreme.
That's not the one we want to show.
But somebody actually did that to themselves so that they can have scars for the rest.
Show the
last a
one.
lifetime.
Show the first picture. Come on.
Now, there's a local girl here who thought it was very clever to...
She's from SB's Luncheonette, which is near the downtown mall. There we are.
It's the late night lunchbox.
We are scarring her up. Yes, she's the late night lunchbox. She believes that she's doing this to reward herself for something, to scar herself because the pain...
It's like remember a man called Horse?
Yeah.
Well...
He didn't do it. He just had those things pierced in his upper nipples to hold him up.
And they hung him from those.
Right. And people, people like to do that. Each to his own. We're not here to judge. Oh, yes, we are here to judge, but...
I don't know. Here's a fellow who went pretty extreme.
I know. He could hurt himself because smoking is bad for you.
Well, I don't know. Do you think that they're improving on God by doing that to their body?
You know, they talk about scarring was big in Africa. You know, black men used to scar their faces, but the reason they used to scar their faces...
To look fierce.
So the white guys wouldn't take them as slaves because they wouldn't be sold as slaves because it scared, the buyers off. So that's one of the reasons.
Well,
so you can't tell... Are we going to have a picture here? There we are. You never know when we're going to be on TV.
Well, we were mutilated there for a second.
Yes, but
we've got to wrap it up.
Yes,
Michael.
We're closing, as are some post offices.
So thanks for joining us here on Double Talk this week. I'm glad to be back in town, and we'll see you back here next week, right here on Double Talk.
Oh.